2024 more for Nana.
2020, 2020, yet to Manana.
2020, 2024 more for Nana.
2020, 2020, yet to Manana.
2020, 2020, yet to Manana.
2020, 2020, yet to Manana.
What can we plenty? Papa me dream it to Manana.
Boy! Farmer to do.
2024 more for Nana.
2020, 2020, yet to Manana.
2020, 2024 more for Nana.
2020, 2020, yet to Manana.
2020, 2020, yet to Manana.
2020, 2020, yet to Manana.
What can no plenty? Papa me dream it to Manana.
2020, 2020, yet to Manana.
Your Excellency, your visit today to Anglonga District, which you created on the 19th February 2019, is a clear indication and demonstration of true love and respect you accorded to the chiefs and people of the Anglonga District. A good and caring farmer always visits the new tree he planted, and it is always a pleasure and heartwarming for that farmer to see the new tree growing and bearing fruit. We, the chiefs and queens of Anglonga District, share the joy of your visit. On behalf of the chiefs, queens, Akuffo Addo, and the entire citizenry of Anglonga District, I wish to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation to you for creating the Anglonga District. I also thank you sincerely for the warm reception you accorded the chiefs and queens of Komeshima, who visited the Jubilee House on Wednesday, 20th May 2020, for the immediate response and action taken on some of the requests they presented to you. As a new district, I want to show my appreciation for the newly completed and ongoing projects in the new district. These include: 1. The lagoon landing site at Anglonga. 2. The Bomingo Steel Bridge. 3. The new district assembly complex being constructed. 4. The construction and completion of classroom blocks, dormitories, and dining halls in Anglon Technical Institute, Zion College, and Anglon Senior High School. The construction of classrooms, workshops, administration, and dormitory blocks at Atoko Vocational Institute. The construction of workshops, administration, and dormitory blocks, and renovation of classrooms at Tegbe Caring Sisters Vocational Institute. And you know, Mr. President, the old and true saying that one good turn deserves another. We assure you of our unflinching support in bringing development to our district and wish you God's protection, guidance, wisdom, and all the best and success in your campaign for 4 more years.
Earlier in the year, before the onset of the pandemic, I toured the Volta Region, just as I have been doing annually to all regions in the country. I am back again, and I'm glad to have this opportunity to come and pay homage to Togbe Sri III, the Awamafia of the Anglo State, a traditional ruler I respect highly and whose people are very dear to me. Now that I'm here, at the home of one of the most hallowed stools of our history, the ancient seat of government of the valiant, redoubtable Anglo people, I believe I'm duty-bound to address a few matters that have come up recently that concern this government and the Volta region. Indeed, I cannot imagine a more suitable venue. I, like everybody else, heard about the uproar that greeted the recent deployment of military personnel along the borders of our country, including the Volta region. The Minister for Defense and other ministers gave what sounded to me like detailed and clear explanations about the situation. Unfortunately, the situation did not appear to have satisfied some people, not least, I suspect, because of the mischief that is so easily generated by some elements of social media, and also because of the season we are in and the determination of some people to stir up ethnic sentiments in the hope of reaping some political advantage. The lingering anxieties about the deployment led to a delegation of chiefs from the Volta Regional House of Chiefs, led by its president, coming to see me at Jubilee House on what I believe some people have termed, quote, the military invasion of the Volta region, unquote. We had what I consider to be frank and mutually respectful discussions, and after 2.5 hours, I suggested to them that I would set up a committee composed of members from both sides to interrogate further the matters they had brought so we can have a satisfactory resolution. In other words, these confidential discussions were not completed. And as I waited to get the names of the 3 nominees from the eminent chiefs, some members of the delegation started making public statements about what they said had taken place at the meeting. It serves little purpose at this stage to offer different accounts of what took place. Suffice it to say, I am going to go ahead if the chiefs are still prepared to submit their 3 nominees, as was agreed, to constitute this committee to resolve quickly all the issues and reassure everybody. Hopefully, this will allow us to deal with the matter of the border post at Leklebi Kame, which provoked such controversy, and the incidents in the town of Honuta, which gave birth to the allegations of military harassment. Corrective measures, if called for, will be instituted. Togwisri, Togbeo, Mamao, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me spell out clearly again, for the benefit of all of us, that the Volta region was not singled out for any special military operation, and there was certainly no political or ethnic agenda. We live in a difficult neighborhood where terrorist activities have become everyday matters for many countries in the region, especially, regrettably, in our immediate northern neighbor of Burkina Faso. That we have so far been spared the ravages of the terrorists is the result of the hard work and constant vigilance of our security services and the grace of the Almighty. But we have to be on constant alert, and if and when we have reason to tighten the security along our borders, it is my responsibility to do so, and we shall do so. It needs no repeating that we are in the midst of a pandemic and our borders are closed and have been closed since March to keep out imported COVID-19 cases. Let us not forget that whereas the first COVID cases enter our country through travelers by air, the first cases in the Volta region came from people who entered the country through unapproved land routes not far from here. The deployment of the military personnel along our borders was a nationwide exercise and was done across all our borders and not in the Volta region alone. There are currently 1,000 military personnel deployed along our borders, of which 163 are deployed along the Volta region border. The immigration services often call for military backup when they see the name. This has been labeled, quote, a military invasion of the Volta region. Togbeo, Mamao, Volta region is an integral part of the Republic of Ghana. And military deployments in the region cannot be described as an invasion. Some elements of social media went into a frenzy, mostly with old videos taken in Accra and other parts of the world, being passed off as residents of the Volta region being brutalized by soldiers. This has been escalated into accusations of ethnic cleansing, and the government that I lead has been labeled as tribalist. While social media is a useful tool for information sharing, it can also be and has been used to magnify small incidents, place pictures, videos, and voices out of context, or simply generate outright fabrications in order to stir up needless ethnic animosity among citizens who are otherwise living peacefully with one another. All who go into politics accept a certain amount of defamation as coming with the territory. But I urge all of us to pause a while and think deeply before we cross all the red lines of decency and humanity and dissolve the links that bind us together as Ghanaians. In any political entity, the easiest way to tell if people are being discriminated against by a government would be to look out for how the national cake is shared. On that score, the sharing of the national cake, this government has been exceptional. We have spread development projects equitably, and areas that have not seen or felt the presence of government in 60 years of independence are witnessing some development today. I dare say this area has done quite well under this government. After years of demanding, an Angloga district has been created and a new assembly complex is being constructed. There are numerous Get Fund projects scattered all over Angloga, and Qatar's SHSs is one which I am due to commission today. Important to me are two TVET projects, which the Volta Regional Minister has described as massive in the Aglo district alone, one of which I shall be inspecting at Atoko. There is the Qatar Landing Beach project, construction of which commences in September. And of course, that which has brought me here today, the 85 million euro facility for the Qatar water supply, rehabilitation and expansion project. And as I said earlier, the Qatar Harbor project is very much on the horizon, and God willing, I'll be back here to cut the sword for the commencement of construction. We have not completed our development journey, but surely We are on the right path, and no one can accuse this government of discrimination in the distribution of the national cake. I lead a government in which people from this region play critical roles, and I have, in the most sensitive areas of government, people from the region who work with me and advise me on a daily basis. I cite these not to suggest there's anything extraordinary in having these people work with me because they are Evers or come from the Volta region, but because I've been forced to look deep inside me as a result of the virulent language that has been directed at me personally and at the government I had. Awamafia, Togbeo, Mamao, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am a student of history, and I would never forget the sacrifices that were made by our forebears to bring us to present-day Ghana. As our elders say, if you do not know where you're coming from, you will not know where you are going. I stand here on hallowed grounds when it comes to the making of what is the present-day New Patriotic Party that I lead in government. During the darkest days of that party, it was here in this region that it drew its biggest strength. It was here in this region that people were most passionate about the political tradition. It was from here that the first people had to flee into political exile after independence. And it was in this region that many chiefs had to flee into exile, and some died there. Some of the consequences on the chieftaincy scene in the region have still not been properly resolved. It was from this region that people were sent into internal exile. Many people forget that when J.B. Dankwa, the first in the trinity of the Dankwa Domo Buzia political tradition, of which I am currently the proud flag bearer, contested Kwame Nkrumah for the presidency on Ghana becoming a republic in 1960. Dankwa did not win his home constituency in Achimabwakwa, but he won in two constituencies. One is right here in Anglo, and the other is Ho West. Even there was a little tribal brittle bone within my makeup, which there is not. I would not choose the Volta region as a target. History will not allow me. We sing our formal national anthem, God bless our homeland Ghana, and the informal one, Mia Denyiba Lolo La. And both were composed by two great musical patriots from this region, Philip Beho and Ephraim Amu, Ora Amu. Has anybody bettered them? And who would dare suggest that they are not Ghanaian? My commitment to the Ghana project is total. The enemy we face is bad governance and poverty, and that is what I've spent my energy trying to defeat. It is a battle we can only win if we stick together and pull in the same direction, even if we have different perspectives. I am convinced that we are set on the correct course, and I ask for your support to let us continue in peace with the transformation of Ghana. I assure you that I will do whatever it takes to ensure that the 7th December elections are free, fair, peaceful, and transparent. So that the will of the Ghanaian people is made manifest. May God bless Togbe Sri III, the Awamafi of the Anglo State, the people of Anglo and the Volta region, and us all. And may God bless our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. I thank you all for your attention.